So SSniperwolf has just had more allegations thrown at her doorstep, and they're damning. And this is in the form of a physical interaction with another creator during a Fortnite event, in potentially the best kept YouTube secret in history. This once again cracks the face of YouTube's golden child. And with the lawsuit, the dramas, the drop off in relevancy, it all seems to be coming to a head with her. And hopefully soon this mess will end, because SSniperwolf is getting cooked. So hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Jake Baz, and today we've got a new development in the SSniperwolf drama which exposes her fragile state further. These allegations are set forth from Azzyland in Nerd City's latest video around an altercation at a Fortnite event, which is just crazy. That sounds like such a terminally online sentence. It seems the big bad wolf once again is cracking after all of the dramas that have been going on, and we're definitely going to get into some of the things that make her personality and a person just seem so scabby and sketchy. This pattern is consistent throughout her entire career and for all the recent dramas, so we've got a lot to look at, which includes being monetized. Yeah, being monetized again. All right, brilliant. Just showing that her current downfall and her projections are just embarrassing as a YouTuber. And quickly, before we get into this, if you do enjoy the video at any point, please do hit the like and sub. It helps us out a lot, and I'd love to see you back. So as I said, Nerd City dropped a new video recently, which was around SSniperwolf losing the plot. And a lot of it's around narcissism, but it also comes into these new allegations that have dropped in the form of Azzyland coming out and saying that something has happened to her. SSniperwolf was in this invite-only tournament as a pro creator, a pro one, and they managed to come a solid 99th out of 100, so she did really well.
And SSniperwolf embarrassed herself in more ways than one. Billed as the pro gamer in a pro-amateur duo, SSniperwolf was outplayed by everyone on the stage that day, including the amateur playing with a bucket on his head. All said and done, her team finished tied for dead last with 0 points. She got eliminated early in all 3 rounds of the tournament.
Which, once again, is just another funny moment for SSniperwolf, considering the fact that she based her entire channel off of gaming and then she ended up going dead last. If you've been playing games for, what, like 7 or 8 years on a controller, you'd probably be a little bit better. But this also makes perfect sense within the context of everything when you look at some of the recent stuff that's happened. And one of the major things is the lawsuit that she's got going on with Evan Sausage, her ex-boyfriend. And in this lawsuit, it highlighted the fact that her entire gameplays, everything around it at the time and into the future, were fake, all fake. As you can see with this here. Most notably, gameplay footage depicted in SSniperwolf YouTube channel was played and recorded by Young, while Shalesh, Aaliyah, merely read and reacted to the gameplay according to those certain concepts and scripts prepared by Young. And considering the amount of times that she had a go at other people for faking their content, it's quite ironic. But as we'll go on to show, see, and experience, she loves a little bit of irony. And because she was having a hissy fit, because she was doing this, that, the other, getting really annoyed at everything, she decided to take it out. And she took it out on one of her ex-partners in the form of YouTube. And I'm lying, they're not partners, they're arch enemies. And that is Azzyland.
At a major gaming event, SSniperwolf assaulted a woman who wasn't even looking in her direction.
Who told you? You want to know a recap of what happened?
Sure.
Okay, so basically, she just like is looking at me. She's silent and she's like angry, and then she like lunges at me, and I don't remember like exact details because it was terrifying. Got in between and like pulled her off me, and then they took her back into the room, and then I was out there and they were like, "What the was that?" It was just like, it was so, oh yeah, she was like, oh yeah, she screaming at me. She's like, a bunch of words I can't actually say on YouTube. But the one sentence I can say is she goes, "You fake your gameplay!" and then charges towards me, swinging.
So she gets jumped on. She gets accused for faking gameplay, which was very much something that SSniperwolf had done throughout the entirety of her career to multiple creators, especially women creators, saying that they fake their gameplay. And I think this comes from a form of being worried about your own stuff, because as we've seen in the lawsuit, it alleges the fact that, well, everything was recorded for her by a sausage. And it does really make you actually kind of respect the graft that you can build a channel for 7 years on pure gameplay content and not actually play the game at all. That's levels of dishonesty that I think only we can get down to. And this also seems like this thing was something that was one of the biggest open secrets in YouTube. Because of the allegations were so serious, it seems, it has been swept under the rug and it has been not mentioned by anyone. Maybe because it's not their place to tell, you know?
When people would find out about it secondhand, they would inquire about it, and Azzy would ask them, please don't make a video about this.
Probably shouldn't mention it.
Man. She did not want the drama.
I mean, I don't want to comment on this.
But in those, you know, sort of upper social circles, it's been known for years.
So yeah, there was this altercation between them two, which really isn't out of the ordinary if you consider the past that these two have had and shared, very unfortunately. Because as we know, Aaliyah, who is Sniperwolf, seems to have a little bit of a sore history with Azzyland. Azzyland, especially throughout all the Jacksfilms stuff, she seems to come out in a much better light than Aaliyah. And this is over the course of years as well that this stuff was going on, and it all started really when Sniperwolf had a bit of a problem with her because I literally just think because she's another attractive woman in the industry. And she's done this with multiple women over the course of the entire history, and it's always people in the gaming world as well, which is weird. Perfect example is Faye Center's girlfriend. But Azzyland has always been a target for her, and especially when recently they both turned to reaction content. And you really can see the differences here with one of these old screenshots here, where Dextero tweeted that Sniperwolf has been accused of copying content, stealing presenting titles, inviting harassment from fans, and lying with fake evidence to cover her tracks. You know, just the usual type of stuff that you get up to in a 9 to 5. With Leah saying that she has a backup of videos and screenshots before she changed the thumbnails to make it look like I copied her. She has proof that Azzyland copied her thumbnails, SEO, the way you speak, the jokes I make, the way you're trying to manipulate this is fraud. And Sniperwolf has this calamity of errors where multiple times she got caught out for this because this is just bullshit. Alright, this is bullshit. If anything, Sniperwolf was copying her content. But because she's got such a fragile ego, she has to come up to the spot of it to grab it by the balls and, you know, take it. Because she will never admit she's wrong. That's another theme throughout her entire existence. And Azzyland, in her nature for this entire thing, was just saying the point was not to accuse her of copying and wanted to move towards kindness, which, I mean, considering how Sniperwolf has treated her throughout the entire way, and this is in 2023, so the event happened in 2018, 2019, so, I mean, she's being quite nice considering. And these were all handled in another Nerd City video that came out a couple of months ago on Sniperwolf, where Azzyland basically said that Sniperwolf had stolen her life, copying absolutely everything about Sniperwolf, even up until the point of her accent, which, I mean, it's quite a high level to nick. And we'll see that all of these patterns around her are followed throughout the entirety of her channel. But probably the most insane thing to me around this entire situation is when this video dropped, what I did is I watched it, I realised, and then I went to go and have a look at her channel, just Sniperwolf, to, you know, see what she's doing. It's been a couple of months since we covered her, so how is she getting on? And I was absolutely astounded when I got onto her video and I saw that she was potentially monetized. Throughout the entire doxing situation with Jacksfilms, which I'll briefly go through later on, but it seems that she was protected throughout the entirety of it, and it really seems that she did break TOS, she should have been knocked off the platform, and yet she never was. And well, seeing her temporary ban silently be lifted when nobody else is looking at her channel, that is really sickening from me to YouTube. What are you doing, YouTube? Sniperwolf has always been pushed by the algorithm massively, despite her videos being not transformative, potentially against TOS full stop, and the fact that her videos go on again and again and again and were doing so well up until the point that they cracked and everything fell apart. But considering what she'd done, the seriousness of all the stuff she'd done, I cannot believe that this ended up happening, especially so quickly. How has she already got remonetized on YouTube? And I couldn't believe that she was potentially being actually monetized. So I got no ads on this video, so I went into the source code and had a look at ads YT. If it's a 1 there, that means that it is monetizable and the video is monetized. But then I thought I'd have a quick cross check, and I went on my phone to open up a video, and as you can see, I'm playing an ad currently for her. So I'm making her money. I'm I'm sorry about that. But it's really important to note throughout this entire thing, it wasn't just the fact that she doxed Jacksfilms that was the entire problem. There was also multiple other instances of stuff being pulled up, dirt being pulled up from her, which ended up going across the radar from YouTube, it seemed, because YouTube had a very preferential treatment towards her. And one of the worst ones that we saw at the time, which was coming up, some of the dirt around her, was actually a found video from about 2013 on YouTube's channel of Sniperwolf and also Monitised. And that was Mums Caught Kids Twerking, funny Omegle moments. Sounds so funny. And the reason this video was so bad, which I'm not going to show, is the fact that she egged on some kids who definitely were under the age of 18 to twerk, and she said that she will get her tits out, saying that I love a big ass. Don't we all, Sniperwolf? And the kids do it, and the mum catches them in the act, and I mean, I don't really need to tell you the idea of getting some kids to twerk for you on Omegle is a bad thing when you're a 20-plus-year-old YouTuber. And it was also the fact that this was being monetized as well on a channel. Like, it was monetized at the time, and it seems that this just got swept under the rug and just ignored about. YouTube didn't access or talk about it directly. They just banned her old channel in the form of making her demonetized. With YouTube confirming via Twitter that Sniperwolf received a temporary monetization suspension and that the behavior that she acted like was not allowed on YouTube. And if you remember at the time, this was totally against the platform's priorities and everything around it, and any other channel, right, any other channel would have got wiped off the face of the earth. This has happened multiple times with multiple instances of creators who have done similar things like doxing, and their channels have got terminated, but because Sniperwolf made so much money for YouTube, it was ignored, breaking their own TOS just to save their own asses, which is very surprising, and it makes sense why she's being remonetized now. There was also this very timely thing around the whole doxing situation, that we don't allow harmful behaviors like threatening and doxing, which went down like a lead of balloons, as obviously readers' context just absolutely cooked YouTube. And this was made even worse when a user called Subtabrion affirmed evidence that YouTube is 100% protecting Sniperwolf in the form of hiding replies on their post about Sniperwolf getting banned. Yeah, that's how bad this has got. So to me, it's evident, very evident, that Sniperwolf and YouTube are in bed with each other. It couldn't be any more obvious to me. And the way that she's been treated throughout the entire years previous only solidifies that fact. It seems that they have very much preferential treatment against her. But despite this, even following all of this stuff that has happened, obviously Sniperwolf is going to keep getting cooked, and she was getting cooked on her YouTube videos generally in her comments, to the point where she started disabling comments, but obviously people came onto that and were just doubling down on all the thousands of millions of videos that she had in total. And conveniently, around this exact time that this was happening, YouTube brought out a new feature, letting you pause commenting on videos so people could see the older comments on videos, but they were unable to comment themselves, just to keep the interactions looking fake and new. Obviously, it seems like it was just to hide the fact that, yeah, Sniperwolf were doing this thing. And conveniently, Sniperwolf also used this pause comments feature. So it seems to me throughout this entire situation that YouTube have had a preferential treatment on her, especially because of the way that she's been allowed to keep posting. Bear in mind, on her second and third channels, they were still monetized, which was once again against YouTube terms of service, until people pointed it out and started having a go as well. Because sneakily, Aaliyah realized that people could see ads on her second channel, but not on her main one, so she just started posting on there instead. The brass neck of her, the absolute brass neck. So it really does seem to me, this entire thing, it seems that YouTube were talking to her throughout the entire place, waiting for things to die down to then just reactivate. There was no timeline on the temporary suspension, and it seems to have come at the exact point that she stopped getting cooked. YouTube just really want that money, and you know, if they can push it out and they can wait for a perfect time for it, they will do it. Bear in mind as well, I was covering this entire Sniperwolf situation on my channel throughout the entire thing, and my ad revenue dropped by about £2 per 1,000 views throughout the entirety of it over the course of like the second half of the clip. So it really felt as well like they were trying to financially incentivize people to move away from this topic because the ad revenue became so low. That's just speculation, total speculation. It could have been because of my average views or engagement and things like that, but it really seems tactical, the fact that all my other videos were doing really well, but the Sniperwolf ones specifically were underperforming massively, which doesn't make sense to me. She is YouTube's golden child. She always will be. So this situation with Azzyland, it's just another instance of that. Just her being able to do stuff which is so out of pocket and so bad and getting away with it. And the fact that she's got monetized now actually makes me sick. But there's also more stuff that happened in this Sniperwolf and Azzyland altercation, because actually she also had a go at her ex.
What many who were there did witness off camera was Sniperwolf getting involved in altercations. The first of which was a screaming match with her partner Evan.
He can't play for her live.
When I don't get my way, I scream, and I scream really loud.
So as you can see, there's a bit of a fallout between them two, and my personal opinion on this is not just because what we can see in the lawsuit, but the fact that everything has been exposed as fake. She's been doing these commentary style videos over gameplay for ages, and that exposes her as being so it's got to throw some feathers in the works, innit? But this has also been covered in the lawsuit, which I can thank Madcatster for getting the documents over to me. Really appreciate it. Which can be seen in the initial lawsuit from Sausage, which is here. At the time of creating the Sniperwolf YouTube channel, Young and Shalesh agreed to split any revenue from the SSSniperwolf YouTube channel equally. And whilst Shalesh was the face of the Sniperwolf YouTube channel, Young is and was at all times heavily involved in the creative content and operations of the Sniperwolf YouTube channel, including concept organization and development, script writing, directing, video editing, posting finished videos, and market research and analysis, amongst other things. And this is alleged by Sausage's lawyers, her ex-boyfriend, so you could say take it with a pinch of salt, but considering the way that Sniperwolf has been throughout the entire process, and the fact that, well, it's a lawsuit, so they're not going to be lying that much, are they? Or at least trying to lie. This seems like not an obfuscation of truth, but just a full truth. And then there was some form of gaslighting from the way back in the way that Sniperwolf responded, with Sniperwolf saying that Sausage didn't create anything for the Sniperwolf brand content, which makes not very much sense considering that they own half each. And it's important to note these because it really does expose the issues that were going on here. The fact that they both had a bit of an argument, a bit of a tussle between each other, and it's because of the pure fact that Sniperwolf has been on a stage, embarrassed herself, and now made to look like all of her content is fake, which if you consider the fact that the past 7 years that she was recording stuff, it was all totally fake anyway, it really does. It pulls the pants down, doesn't it? And the fact that they had a public rant about it, it's quite funny, innit? With Sniperwolf even further in this by saying that Young wasn't barely involved at all in the channel, and that he was sabotaging brand deals, and he has an erratic and vindictive behaviour which causes financial damage to the channel. Which, if you can look at how Sniperwolf has acted in the past couple of months, that is quite ironic, innit? And it is quite evident looking at the recent stuff as well that she seems to be that erratic and vindictive person. But who am I to judge? I'm not judging anyone. But this all highlights the problems that she was having with Sausage and the entire situation, why it came to a head so much. Maybe why she was so angry during this Fortnite event, because she got clattered. But if you go through the past of her, you can see that this is very relevant to the conversation, because with this Fortnite event, she's lashed out because it's not going to wear. And you can see that across the entirety of her history. Screaming and shouting, being a negative person, and bringing all the attention on you just because you're not getting your own way. And does it ring a bell? And this is what I don't get, the fact that doing stuff like this in private can bring forward the fact that you become one of the biggest creators in the world. It's astounding. And this brash behaviour can also be seen in another thing which is covered in the Nerd City video, which is around the fact that Sniperwolf literally copied everything around Azzyland.
The easiest examples to find, by simply looking at the dates and comparing them, are the hundreds of thumbnails and titles that Sniperwolf used after Azzyland.
And I really think she does just want to attack someone else because it's Azzyland. She is a female creator in a similar space to her. They are kind of competitors, but not really, but they kind of are. So this brings Sniperwolf to be a horrible person. And I mean, the thing is with YouTube and with copying, when you go to the point of copying someone's accent, that's when you know that you're finished. But like the copying aspects of everything, it doesn't really make sense to me. YouTube is an imitation game. You copy people to a certain extent when it comes to like topics and things like that. And if you're in a certain sphere, a certain niche, that's how you branch out into the niche. But you do it by being personable, by being yourself. That's what makes you in the YouTube. But yeah, Sniperwolf has this pattern of behavior where she has copied Azzyland multiple times over the years, to the point of titles, thumbnails, and the actual content within them. And it gets to a point where she picks an accent because she's been watching Azzyland that much, I think.
But it also included some weird things, like potentially her Toronto accent, and the exact dress that she wore for a house tour.
And that's just hilarious. And the thing is around the entire Sniperwolf situation is that she always does decide that she's in the right, and you shouldn't be questioning it. And the idea that she is potentially a slightly bit wrong is absolutely ludicrous to her, and she will on that hill. And she does it so she can hide behind this veiled curtain, like we've seen with the sausage stuff where he did all the gameplay for her, and then she would go out and lambast multiple creators for faking their content just because she's doing the exact same thing. It's just hiding a lie and a truth. And also this does kind of make sense as to why she disappeared from the community. Following this Fortnite event, shortly after, she did seem to become a bit more of a recluse. She wasn't seeing many people, she wasn't collabing with many people. She very much became insular and just focused on a channel, and well, I mean, it reaped benefits because she was making like millions of pounds a month. But she hid away from the actual community that makes YouTube. And it's probably because of this massive public row with Sausage, the fact that she's been exposed of being really shit at games, and then she's attacked Azzyland probably because she was pissed off. Let's be honest, it probably wasn't actually malicious intent towards Azzyland. She probably just really got annoyed and then decided to say some nasty things to her and push her. She is genuinely such a nice person, isn't she? She really is. But this is, once again, a pattern of behaviour, and the perfect example to explain that would be the most recent stuff that happened with the Jacksfilms stuff. Because she ended up doxing him, and it ended up being a massive calamity, both on YouTube's and Sniperwolf's part. Which, if you don't remember the full story, she put this on Instagram saying, should I visit him? He's 5 minutes away from my shoot. Really, really kind of her. Just looking after another creator, isn't she? Following the fact that Jacksfilms had done about 5,000 videos on her just taking the piss out of her, basically, and she didn't improve. She then goes to post a full photo of Jacksfilms' house on her story, which is insane. Fully doxing his address, which is against YouTube terms of service. It's definitely something that is wrong, and in the majority of cases, it gets banned straight away. Like, you're wiped, you're gone in a bit, see you later. Even though it's on Instagram, it's still against TOS. She then put this up with her sister, which, I mean, it's just rubbing salt in the wound about a day later, because obviously she's in the right. She's really in the right with this entire situation. It's just a one-off. And if you consider the type of people that she would be inciting with stuff like this, it is also even more insane and crazy. And I don't know what she was thinking, but she must have had an off day. No matter how much of an arsehole that Jacksfilms was in the entire situation by posting so much about her, that was the entire bit. It was JJJ Jacksfilms, like SSSniperwolf. And Sniperwolf didn't upgrade anything in her setup, anything in her ability to react to stuff. She continued to just do the exact same thing again and again and again, and expected nothing to change, and that you're not going to get your asshole ripped out. It's not exactly how it works. Bear in mind as well, she was 30 at this point. 30. Which then led her to act like this.
And then his streams. This dude is just like low-key harassing me. Like, should I get a restraining order?
And as you can see, like with Azzyland, she fully lashes out. She says nothing for a while and then she just blows out. It's like she builds it up in her system for months and then just explodes. Is he obsessed with me? Yeah, he's obsessed with you, Sniperwolf. Maybe you're a little bit obsessed with him considering you go into his house. But because then she ended up getting absolutely hammered, and mainly because she got demonetized, so she ran out of money, essentially, she decided to do an apology, because obviously she can't run that far, because it can only get worse if she doesn't do a terrible apology. And it's really convenient. It was literally the second that all of her revenue channels got depleted that she decided that she's got to do this apology. It really seems genuine, doesn't it? This was also potentially a ChatGPT response, so she gets even more brownie points for that too. And it went down like a sack of because she ended up going private on Twitter, so it worked out well for her. And like you can see with the Azzyland stuff, it seems that she does have a superiority complex. She believes that she's on the top and everyone else is just below her, and she's always right. And she will only turn to making herself feel like an arsehole by apologizing when there is literally no way out, and she's backed into a corner. You can see this with like stuff that she had with Azzyland before, like even years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, because she never apologized for it. She would just double down in videos and just be an arsehole, and obviously that's very courageous of her. And you can also link this with the Fortnite event, because when she ended up quitting this Fortnite event and having a go at Azzyland, well, she seemed to divert away and she ended up becoming more insular. Which, I mean, if I was a massive channel and I got embarrassed that hard, I probably would do the exact same. And you know, with this new stuff coming out, do you expect an apology? I don't. I don't believe it. I don't believe she will stoop down to that level, because this is something that has happened post her last apology. She only gets a maximum of one apology a year, so they need to count. But quite frankly, I just think she's that much of a narc. I cannot imagine, with the amount of times that she has gone for Azzyland post this incident and not expected anything to come out of it. I can't imagine her just having a choice. She's got to be looking down one avenue, and that is, I am right. So what I probably can expect is for Sniperwolf to say that Azzyland's copying her in about a month again. But another thing that we can look at is her socials at the moment. How well is she doing? Because you'd think, considering the fact that she had such a massive issue where the entirety of YouTube was going at her and gunning at her, you'd think that maybe she might be getting a little less views now, you know? But really, I feel like this is just proof that YouTube is protecting her somewhat more, because it's actually insane how well she's doing, considering the fact that she had a asshole torn out a couple of months ago. And she's doing really well. She's nearly recovered from the entire situation. And you can see in the December graph, there's minus 90 million views. So I'll let you know that the twerking video, that wasn't 90 million views. What had happened is she got demonetized. She had all these issues. And then this came out and she deleted, I believe it was around 50 videos at the time. So she must have had someone scrolling through her stuff trying to get rid of all this. Which, I mean, surely you've got nothing to idea, Sniperwolf. Why would you do that? But to me, it shows that there's a lot more that's missed that we didn't catch before she managed hiding it. But her views don't seem to have tanked at all. Like, you can see the minus 90 million views, and then she's practically back to where she was, which I find absolutely amazing, considering the fact she had these massive gaps in uploading because she decided to quit, and then she pretended to quit and then came back. But she's dropped everything, but she's still getting between like 3 and 8 million views a day, which is just insane. The fact that she's getting pushed that much, I mean, I know her content shit and it gets fucked thrown to every 12-year-old that can read. And I know she's not at the massive all-time high of 700 million views a month, but 133 million views, that is a lot. But she's clearly still getting very much pushed by the platform, and also by doing like a quick sort of calculation, she will definitely be earning millions a month on this channel, which blows my mind. Never have I ever seen a content creator who has caused so many dramas over the years. There is maybe 40, 50 instances of her just being absolutely terrible, and over 10 instances of her breaking terms of service, and she's managed to not only get over that, but she's ended up doing better for herself from it, where we have a point now where she had one of the worst months ever. Everyone was dogging on her, and now she's back to normal. It really seems a little bit coincidental to be not true that potentially the fact that she has been pushed by YouTube for so many years, she has been this golden creator for them, despite the fact she breaks terms of service by reacting in the way that she does. It must be somewhat calculated, don't you think? And it's a very sorry state of affairs as well, if you think about it, because there has been instances in the past where YouTubers have done stuff like that she's done with the Jacksfilms stuff and the doxing, and they got wiped off the platform. But it really does seem that Sniperwolf just creates that much attention, she gets that many views, and she gets that much money to YouTube that it doesn't really matter in this instance. They're just gonna wipe over it and just let it go. Oh, you've been a good girl, Sniperwolf. Here's another 100 million views. And when you bundle it with the newest allegation, it just really adds again, doesn't it, that how has she managed to be in this situation for so long? It's actually disgusting. This isn't just an instance. It's not just one instance of her being an arsehole in the fact that she went and attacked Azzy. It's a big thing that has happened multiple times across the entirety of her channel. And she's never presented herself as any other way than what she is. The type of person that she is. So I just find it absolutely insane that she gets this preferential treatment from YouTube and nobody bats an eyelid to it. There are so many instances of her doing stuff like this and getting checked by absolutely nobody, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And the fact that, yeah, YouTube just go on son, you're fine, really irks me, and it's a sorry state for YouTube. And it pisses me off as well when I see her on these moral grandstands like with this Mr. Beast one. Oh, Mr. Beast copied you, piss off, Sniperwolf. You got 3,500 videos. And this was all because Azzyland accused her of stealing her her videos, which is a very genuine like accusation, and well, it's proved at this point, it is proved. And then going to points where she even blames Sausage for the problems that she has caused directly, such as here in the lawsuit. Channel Red's revenue diminished in 2022 and 2023 because Young prohibited Celeste from posting videos during critical time periods. Yeah, I'm sure in 2023 when you doxed a creator and got cancelled because of it, that is definitely the reason why it's Sausage in it. Yeah. Obviously just a massive reach, but what's new for her? But it all comes back round to this. The fact that she has gone and attacked Azzyland in a Fortnite event, and it was a big public secret that has only just come out, and it really does paint her once again in that light of just a nasty and also being monetized shortly after being demonetized when it was, oh yeah, it's a temporary one, yeah, we all know, but that doesn't mean that that's right. I can't believe that. It's been 3 months. Like, this is ridiculous. YouTube changed their TOS for her, so they couldn't ban her because she was too big and made too much money for them, and that is wrong. Money should never buy power in this situation. She is the big bad wolf, and she's trying to blow everyone's houses down around her, and I don't think that's right. She's tapped, and she's wrong, and she's consistently wrong, and you can only think that across the entire next couple of years, she's going to do the exact same thing again. She's going to get in so many more dramas, she's going to cause so many more problems, and the fact that she hasn't been deleted from the internet is crazy. She'll be laughing away to the bank whilst literally everyone else around her that does the same thing is going to be wiped off YouTube. Yeah, come on, makes sense. But no matter what, she will never go because of the amount of money that she makes YouTube. But what do you guys think? Please do let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about this situation because it does really irk me. And obviously, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please hit the like and sub. But I've been Jake Vaz, and I'll see you later. Take care.